And people ask me, what's an Ultrabook? And we say, we're going to tell you what's Ultrabook, but first I want to tell you what's the revolution. And if I'm taking 5 years old computer, which is a nice one, I believe the revolution can be summarized in 2 words. This is the revolution. That's an Ultrabook. The Ultrabook is the new devices, the device that you hold in your hand, the device that you like to show, the device that you put so much effort in order to deliver of what David was speaking about. But let me show you in a second what we are trying to deliver in this category. So first of all, it was very simple. David told us what we need to do, and the guys, they say, guys, you need to make sure that we can create to express ourselves. We don't want to wait for the computer, we want the computer to wait for us. We want peace of mind. They don't even know to say the word security. We want the reflection of me, always available, at the price that's available, and I say, well, how do you want us to do it? You say, that's your problem, you're an engineer, I finished my job, you just left the stage. So the big challenge for us is how do we take this word, these usages, and translate it into engineering, because at the end of the day, we need to design it. And I believe the way that we design is the following, guys. In order to deliver this creativity and responsiveness of anything, we need to design the system in such a way. In order to do the protection, we need to do the security embedded into our solution. I'll touch on it. We need to speak about form factor. It's not about style. We need to create this style. Very thin system, you'll see the challenge. We need to have power and reduce the power constantly in order to be able to deliver long battery life. And on top of all of this, when you do it, you need to do it at a very affordable price so that many consumers will be able to do it. So let's start first thing first. Let's look at the performance. It's true that the performance is very important for our creation. People do not recognize it sometimes, but you need the performance the same way that in the car, you need a great engine in order to have a great driving experience. People speak about the driving experience, they do not know what's exactly under the hood. Same thing when you want to do the creation, when you want to be real time, when you want to be next to your computer, it's important when you have what you have under the hood, especially when you want to create. And I started my presentation when there was the video and say, yes, people speak about creation, and I'm not against people speak about consumption. And I'm not against consumption, I like the consumption devices. They're beautiful. But we are not only consumption animal. Somebody write, and we read, somebody take a picture, and we watch the movie, somebody's doing it. We would like also to create ourselves. It starts at a very young age, and I believe that eventually if you want to fulfill the left brain and the right brain, and you don't want to be left with no brain, definitely we need to be able to do some creation as well. One of the things that we heard when we delivered the CULB into the market, people claim that there's still not enough performance to fulfill what they want. We redesigned the CPU in such a way that even in a very small form factor at a low voltage, we'll be able to deliver this great performance. And if you look at the Ultrabook that we are delivering today, its performance is better than the 2-3 years system, standard voltage that exists over there in the market. But the biggest challenge was, how do we make sure that the responsiveness, the speed, is going to be so fast that when you're interacting with the device, you'll get the right performance. And for that, we extended the turbo, and let me go a little bit into technical detail, not too much to show you. What we see on the right-hand side is a standard voltage 30-watt microprocessor dual core. On the left-hand side, we see a ULV 17-watt solution. You can see that the frequency is slightly lower. But when we hit the carriage return, where we want to see an application, we need the performance on demand, both of them will turbo. And as you can see, on the right-hand side, it will turbo several bins. On the left-hand side, the turbo will be much higher. So rather than looking at the screen, please look at me, if I can get the iMac. If this is the frequency of the standard voltage, if this is the frequency of the ULB, once we turbo them, both of them will turbo almost to the same frequency. So when you look at the responsiveness for the same systems is going to be pretty much identical. And indeed, we get great feedback from our customer when they start playing with the Ultrabook, say, wow, it's amazing the responsiveness we get. But it's not only about that. We added additional solution, additional technology to fulfill what people want. So,
hello, Mooly.
How are you doing?
Good. So I have two technologies here to show you that are going to make your PC or your Ultrabook even more responsive. Now, the first technology I have is rapid start technology. Now, not a lot of people use Hibernate today because it just takes so long to get out of Hibernate. But Hibernate gives you up to 30 days of battery power.
So we like the Hibernate, but getting out of Hibernate, it's pretty annoying.
Right. Now, I'm going to go ahead and start this system. I had put it in Hibernate before.
So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 3.5. Let's go.
There we go.
So, did it. Almost did.
Yeah.
Start counting too early. So, actually you can see that the system will come out of Hibernate in less than 5 seconds. It's quite a few times. You'll see. I'm not speaking about how fast it will come from a sleep mode, because you'll see it in a second or in a few minutes later on in one of our demo, and you'll have the wow. So this is running on this Acer Ultrabook.
Yes.
And we've seen how fast the system is coming out of Hibernate.
And it picked up exactly where I left off, so the video started playing. And
I see over here a Toshiba.
This is our new Toshiba Ultrabook.
Which is the one that I took from this notebook over there. What do you want to show us over there?
So I have Intel Smart Connect technology installed on this. Now, before you started your keynote, I went ahead and put my system into sleep state.
The system is asleep before I started the keynote.
Right. Now, what it did while you were giving your keynote is it woke up for brief periods of brief time, download all your latest updates, and so when I am ready to go, I don't have to worry about syncing my system. I can be sure that I have my latest updates on my machine.
Great. So let's try to understand. When we open the system, not only the system will turn on very fast, it will be already updated, because while it was asleep, it just wake up every few minutes, collect the data that was there for the system, so I open it. So let's see. You open it.
So I went ahead, I'm coming out of sleep right now.
It seems that you've got, oh,
and,
very cool.
And there you go. I have your picture from the keynote that you've been giving.
Upside down.
All right, there you go.
Yeah. So this picture was actually taken while I was on stage, sent the email, and while the computer was in a sleep mode, actually it updated the information.
Intel Smart Connect.
They got it. Thank you. All right. Security is one of the top consumer concerns. The market survey that was done by marketing find out that consumers really care about the security. And there's two kinds of security that we needed to address. First of all, is security, physical security of your asset. If somebody steals your notebook, what do you do? And between us, we know that the most important thing for us is not only the asset, it's the database, it's the content, it's my data, it's the Excel spreadsheet that you have, right? The one that you calculate how much money you have. You know what I'm talking about? Some of them understand. So definitely you don't want this data to get to somebody else. You want to make sure that this data is protection. It's your personal data. The other thing is when you are doing transaction with the bank, you want to make sure that you do the transaction by yourself and nobody is joining the party, copying your numbers, trying to redirect the money and doing the things. So one is transaction, the other one is the asset. To really discuss it, let me invite to the stage, one of the cyber warrior, Todd Gebhardt, co-president of McAfee. Todd. How are you?
Good.
I think that I forgot to tell you what the dress code over here, but you see.
Yeah, I can see I underdressed for the event.
All right.
First IDF.
McAfee, you know, as a leader in the client for security, how does McAfee see this issue of theft and things like that?
Yeah, it's a growing concern with the thousands and thousands of PCs and mobile devices that are going to be lost and stolen every year. We're seeing a growing concern among our consumers about device and data security.
Some scary number about the airport, because it's happened to me already.
Yeah, oh, really? Yeah. Well, the numbers show that about 12,000 devices will be left in an airport each and every week.
One of them was mine. I almost got a heart attack, but I retrieved it, yeah.
So device and data security is becoming a bigger part of our strategy, our product portfolio, and our partner opportunities in the marketplace.
Well, how important you see the cooperation between the two companies? Because everybody knows you're a security software company. We mainly hardware company, although we are growing our expertise in additional areas. How do you define our cooperation? What does it bring to the market?
Oh, it's great. We've been working on a project called Anti-Theft for the Ultrabook, and the teams have been collaborating very well. We have some great technology that gives the consumer the peace of mind that their data is secure. Whether they want to lock the data or whether they want to wipe the data, if that device becomes lost or stolen, they have control over the safety of their pictures, their music, their data, their documents, their tax returns, whatever it is. They have the peace of mind knowing that it's locked or it's wiped.
That sounds very interesting. I'm sure some people in the audience will probably ask, so when can they expect to see it?
Well, we're going to be shipping in the first half of next year, but you can actually see what we're working on downstairs in the McAfee booth at the showcase.